Hello fellow coffee botherers. In this video we're going to be looking at the new DeLonghi Primadonna Aromatic, the latest version of DeLonghi's flagship super automatic bean-to-cup espresso machine. Is it just the same as the Primadonna Soul but with cold brew and cold foam? Let's find out, starting with the specs. Dimensions: 26cm wide, 45.5cm deep, 38.7cm tall. To the hopper, just slightly taller to the top of the screen, about 39.1cm. Or in inches, about 10¼ inches wide, just slightly under 18 inches deep, and about 15¼ inches tall to the hopper, and about 1/6 of an inch taller to the top of the screen at the very front. 5-inch fuller TFT touchscreen. Latte crema one-touch milk carafe, 2 of them, hot and cold. 7 grind settings, kind of. 3 brew temperature settings. 2.2 litre water tank. Dreg draw capacity of around 14 used pucks. Max cup height, my old friend, is about 13cm, a tad under 5 inches. Programmable auto off anywhere from 15 minutes to 3 hours. 4 user profiles plus a guest mode. Loads of customizable hot and cold coffee drinks. DeLonghi Coffee Lounge app. Wi-Fi connected. First impressions: it's rather large, not a machine for cramped kitchens. Nice big screen and it all looks pretty good quality, but I have to say these shiny panels put me off a bit. Overall, I don't think it comes across quite as premium as looking as the Elita Explorer, to be honest, which is a lower price machine from DeLonghi. One of the first things I did notice is that the bean hopper isn't removable. This is standard, but the KitchenAid KF8, another fairly recent premium bean-to-cup machine, does have a removable hopper, and the DeLonghi Revelia has 2 removable hoppers. So I think it's a bit of a shame that their new all-singing, all-dancing flagship machine doesn't have this really useful feature. Another thing I noticed as soon as I removed the hopper lid was no grind adjustment, and we'll talk about that shortly. How much is it? At the time of filming, it's £1,549.99 in the UK, €1,799 in Germany, and $2,099 in the US. I'll put links in the description. There'll be affiliate links, so if you buy using these links, you'll be helping to support this channel. Thank you. Speaking of supporting the channel, if you look just down here, do you see subscribe or subscribed? If it says subscribe, that means you're not subscribed, and that can be remedied very quickly just by giving that button a click. This doesn't cost you anything, but it's really helpful for the channel. So if you are subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Test results. Heat up time is about 50 seconds. Milk temperature for the hot milk carafe is generally about 65 degrees Celsius, about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, among the hottest I've had from one-touch automatic machines. Milk temperature for the cold frother will just depend on the temperature of the milk you put in it, of course. Hot water temperature is around 90 degrees Celsius, 194 degrees Fahrenheit, and it takes about a minute to produce 200 ml of hot water, which comes out at about 80 degrees Celsius. Coffee temperature usually leaves spouts at around the mid to high 70s in Celsius, about 170 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. The iced coffees, meaning all the hot drinks but with ice cubes on the images, are literally just hot coffees with a message telling you to add ice. Genius. So that's clearly very helpful. I had no idea that adding ice to cappuccino would make it an iced cappuccino. Thanks, DeLonghi. Okay, I do realise these settings alter the volume to account for the ice, but still, you can't expect me not to tease them about that. They're clearly asking for it. Cold brew, on the other hand, exits the nozzles about 38 to 39 degrees Celsius, about 100 to 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Noise levels. It's a quiet machine. Grinding in particular is quiet, about 60 decibels. Brewing is about 40 decibels. The sound of the gears knocking out the puck internally is about 50 decibels, and steam and milk is also about 50 decibels. What's the user interface like? It's nice and bright and colourful. It's all very intuitive. I wouldn't say it's at all complicated, but there's a lot of drink options. You have to do a lot of swiping around to find the drink you're looking for initially. There is, however, a shortcut for cold and a shortcut for hot, which is good. I do wish there was a shortcut for favourites, though. It does have a very clever system for learning what coffees you tend to prefer, split into 3 sections of the day: morning, lunchtime, and later in the day. If only we had a word for later in the day. This is per profile too, meaning that if there are 4 people using it via different profiles, it'll learn what coffees each user prefers to drink at each time of the day. I do think it'd be better if the user could program that though, rather than having to wait for the machine to learn. I'd expect to be able to just go in and say, in the morning I drink espresso or flat white, and at lunchtime I drink espresso or flat white. Yeah, for me it probably wouldn't make much difference. It's not very responsive. There's quite a bit of lag when swiping through the drinks. What's the app like? So this is the My Coffee Lounge app and not the Coffee Link app that you'll find on the other connected DeLonghi machines. It's very similar in the way it works and what it does, but it looks like they're putting more focus on making it more interactive and educational. I really like the app when it works. If it always worked smoothly and didn't keep crashing and generally bugging out, I'd say it was the best app I've used on a machine like this. It has tons of potential and I love all of the recipes, 150 of them. Well, I mean, I love the fact that there are 150 of them. Wesley. But it's just really buggy at the moment. It regularly stops working on Android, Pixel 9 Pro. And most of the time when I turn the machine on, it gives me an error that the machine isn't available. And I have to turn the Wi-Fi off and back on again and then go out with the app and go back into it again. Bit of a pain. You can access Bean Adapt from the app. You can turn the machine on from the app, which is helpful to a degree. If you're in another room when you're thinking about coffee, then it'll be ready to go by the time you get to it. You can make coffees from the app, and I do find that helpful purely because I like the app better than the interface when it works. But if you're thinking about just walking up to it and ordering a coffee from your phone, you can do that as long as someone gets the milk from the fridge, puts a cup on the drip tray after it's done the heat up purge and so on. You can create a favourites section on the app, and that's great, but it seems a shame that they've not linked the app to the user interface. I think an obvious feature would be being able to add coffees to my favourites on the app and then see my favourites first on the screen. What's Bean Adapt? This is a feature that appears on most of DeLonghi's more recent automatic machines, and it's aimed at getting the best results with the beans you're using. It works slightly differently depending on the machine. On the Primadonna Aromatic, it asks you whether your beans are 100% Arabica or a blend, and it asks you to enter the roast level, and it'll then set the temperature, intensity and the grind size. It's worth mentioning here that the colours on the screen when it's asking for roast level does seem to indicate that you can use all beans with this machine, including the extremes on both sides, light and dark. More on that shortly. And I didn't just call you a moron, by the way. What's the maximum dose? The maximum dose, meaning the amount of ground coffee at the highest strength setting, from my testing has been just under 14 grams. This is quite high for a fully automatic machine, but it's not as big as the max dose on the Magnifica Plus, interestingly, which was 17 grams. How do you adjust the grind size? With the grind adjustment wheel. Who stole the grind adjustment wheel? Hasn't got one. Yes, as you can see, there's no physical grind adjustment. You can only do it via Bean Adapt on the interface or on the app. I will move the grinder to position... Why? He hasn't asked me how it tastes. So you don't have the kind of control I'd expect over the grind size. You can only make one adjustment at a time, and I think that's just a limitation of the digital grind adjustment. So if you're at grind size 3 and you want to change to grind size 6, you'd need to make a coffee at grind size 4 and then make another coffee at grind size 5 before you can change to grind size 6, which is such a waste. Come on, DeLonghi, we're not made of money. This is going to make people use more coffee beans. Oh, wait, yeah, no, don't change it. What coffee beans are suitable with this machine? As with the DeLonghi La Specialista Touch, Bean Adapt on this machine is suggesting I can use light roasts and dark roasts. But again, as with the DeLonghi La Specialista Touch, the hopper isn't removable. If you use a light roast with this and end up jamming the burrs, as I did with the La Specialista Touch, you're stuck. You can't access the burrs to fix it. You'd have to strip the machine down. If you do use a dark roast, the oils could clog the burrs and you can't get to them to clean them. You could run grinder cleaning pellets through it, start making a coffee and turn it off via the switch at the back as soon as it finishes grinding. So it'll just dump the ground pellets internally, but you'd have to be careful not to allow it to go through the motions of making a coffee with the cleaning pellets in, or you could break the brewing unit. In my humble opinion, with auto bean to cup machines, you're better off sticking to medium dark roasts. This might be a good time to hear from our sponsor. The sponsor this week was supposed to be a boomerang manufacturer, but they didn't come back to me.
Boo.
Meringue.
You got me.
So this week's sponsor is me. My coffee beans from seaworks.co.uk are all freshly roasted, and we have a category dedicated purely to coffee beans that are suitable for auto bean to cup machines like this. Want to try them? Of course you do. Use the discount code YT25 for 25% off your first order at seaworks.co.uk. What's the espresso like? It's not bad. To be honest, no different than most of the DeLonghi automatic machines. It's more or less what I'd expect for espresso from an auto bean to cup machine. If you're thinking of buying this because you think being a more premium machine from DeLonghi, the espresso will be better, I don't think that's going to be the case. So as bean to cup espresso goes, that's alright. It's not going to win any awards, or any awards, but it's alright. Personally, I believe the espresso from this is pretty much the same as the espresso from the Elite Explore, the Revelia and the Magnifica Plus. What's the cold brew like? We're seeing cold brew type coffee on an increasing number of machines, and this isn't one of the better ones in my opinion. Sorry, DeLonghi. As I mentioned earlier, it's in the high 30s, and it really tastes nothing like cold brew. I find it overly bitter. Personally, I don't find it to be as good as the cold brew option on the Ninja Luxe or the Sage or Breville Oracle Jet. What's a latte crema hot like? Very good. Texture-wise, it's the same as the Elite Explore and the Revelia. Among the best milk texture I've had from a one-touch system. It's even capable of microfoam that I've been able to produce some form of latte art with. Temperature-wise, it's not bad either. It's up there with the Magnifica Plus in terms of being the hottest milkies I've had from a one-touch machine. What's a latte crema cold like? Not bad. As with the Elite Explore, the Revelia too, but you have to buy the latte crema cold separately for that one. The cold foam is pretty good. It's only as cold as the milk you put in it, but it does the job. That's quite nice. What do I like about it? It's a quiet machine, one of the quietest fully auto machines I've used. The number of drink options is great, the interface is nice and simple to use, and I think the app has a lot of potential if they can get rid of the bugs. The milk temperature is very good for an auto bean to cup machine. What don't I like about it? I'm just not quite sure it's really worth the extra cost versus the likes of the Magnifica Plus or the Elite Explore. I'm seeing more bells and whistles and real practical features for the extra money. I don't like the fact that Bean Adapt suggests it's fine to use light and dark roast with it, given that you can't remove the hopper to get to the burrs. The app and the screen are disjointed, separate. I think they should work together as one. For example, adding your favourites on the app should mean you get these first on the screen. The app, as I've said, I think has loads of potential, but it just doesn't seem ready yet. So there we go, the DeLonghi Primadonna Aromatic. It's not just a Primadonna soul, but with cold brew and cold foam. There's more to it than that, but as you can probably tell, I'm not massively impressed. If you were to ask me if I'd buy this for about £1,550 or over $2,000, I'd say no. I don't really see the value versus DeLonghi's more affordable machines. The Elite Explore, for example, I'd probably prefer over this. The only thing I'd probably pay a bit extra for is the app, if it worked as intended, as I do think the Coffee Lounge app has a lot of potential.
I'm curious about this one. It looks thick. Oh yeah, it's another thick boy.
Ow, too hot.
Pinky's out. I wasn't expecting the ice.
Am I expecting like a literally chili flavoured coffee one day?
Funny you should say that.
Chili? There's no chilies in that.
No, I'm joking.
It's just a caramelly,
Oh yeah, it's like
iced coffee, vanilla,
caramel
latte,
or something.
latte.
Just tastes like a Starbucks coffee or something.
What did you say?
All I can taste is like sugary syrupiness.
Yeah. Not something I'd order. It's not offensive. I'd drink a few sips and give it to someone else.
It's a brown sugar latte, is that right?
Brown sugar latte.
How many beans?
Oh yeah, the beans. 3.
3.
4.
4.
It's just pretty much bang average.
I give it 2. 2 beans.
No. Dirty bad.
Bye. Thank you very much for watching, and a special thank you to all of the new channel members. If you want to join in the fun, click the join button, which is down here somewhere by my right flip-flop. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button to make it change to subscribed, and also liking and commenting helps too. Another way to subscribe is to click on my face. Tatty bye!